Okay. Call the meeting to order. Some semblance of order. Mr. Clerk.
Thank you, Your Worship. First item on this evening's agenda is the minutes of the regular council meeting held Monday, March 4th. Recommendation to approve.
Moved by Councillor Raymer, second by Councillor Robinson. All in favour? Opposed? Carried.
Item 2 is the minutes of the Multiculturalism Advisory Committee of Wednesday, February 20th. Recommendation to receive.
Moved by Councillor Rasmussen, second by Councillor Hodge. All in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously.
Item 3 is the City of Coquitlam's 2013 Local Improvement Parcel Tax Review Panel. The two-part recommendation is that Council approve the first sitting of the annual Parcel Tax Review Panel for Wednesday, April 3rd at 4 p.m. in this room, and to approve the second sitting of this panel to be held on Thursday, April 4th at 4 p.m. in this room if required.
Moved by Councillor O'Neill, second by Councillor Robinson. All in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously.
Item 4 is the Metro Vancouver Board and Brief. Our representatives are here to respond to any questions that the rest of Council may have, and the recommendations to receive the brief for information.
Moved by Councillor Nicholson, second by Councillor Reamer. All in favour? Opposed? Carried unanimously.
That is the last formal item on this agenda.
I've had a request by one of the councillors to do an around the table in the evening, although I guess council made the decision this would be in the afternoon, but I'll allow Councillor Sikora because we do have time left in the evening's agenda.
Why don't you through by 10 o'clock?
Councillor Sikora.
You know, I'll tell you, we seem to decide that most of our council meetings are now held at 2 o'clock in the afternoon instead of the evening when the general public can turn out. I mean, it is really silly. This afternoon, we dealt with a whole bunch of items that should have been dealt with tonight.
But there were more people here.
But that's the council, most of the council decision, which I disagree. But I've been getting a lot of calls about school land disposition. Now, tell me from the planning department, are we going to the public, holding public meetings on it, or is the school board doing it, or both of us are doing it?
Well, we don't own the land, so we wouldn't be. I don't understand.
No, so we're going to the public to listen to the public what they're going to be said outside of the public hearing. Am I correct?
Okay. Please.
Yes, if I understand your question correctly, if the school district is the applicant to amend the OCP, they would be undertaking the 879 process, which is the public consultation in advance of public hearing. So
there would be no public consultation by the city outside of the public hearing?
Councillor Sikora, we don't do public consultation on any land sales other than sometimes perhaps city-owned land, but
I realize that. But I hear that there could be public consultation by the school board or whoever here in the city. I'm just trying to find out who's going to have the public consultation.
Well, if there was a proposal for the city to hold public consultation on the sale of private land or land that isn't owned by the city, I would oppose it, but I don't think we're contemplating doing. Mr. Stevlin.
From my perspective, there is a process that the city runs at the request of the applicant, and it's a precursor to a formal council presentation, and that's the whole 879 process of consultation that I believe the city runs at the behest and at the request of the applicant. So I believe, and maybe Mr. Gilbert can clarify that, but at the request of the school board, we sent out notices. Ultimately, it will come back to council in the form of a report, but it is a formal planning process as part of the zoning process that the city runs.
So that's all we're involved, and then we'll have a public hearing.
That is correct. The first step will be, after that is finished, the planning department will write a report back to this council and ask council if you are willing to give first reading to the rezoning, and here is the advanced consultation, and if there is any kind of petition or anything, information out at that time, council will be apprised of that, and that will be council's first decision. After that, if council says yes, we'll give first reading, it will then go to the public formally as part of a public hearing, and then we'll go from there. That's the normal process.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes. Yeah.
Try it again. Moved by Councillor Rasmussen, second by Councillor Nicholson.
Right. Yeah.
That's Councillor Reid. Actually moved by Councillor Reid 5 minutes ago, and seconded by Councillor Rasmussen.
We'll update the time to the moment.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and just a clarification, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I think what I meant is that when they hold public consultation, that they would be doing that. We wouldn't be doing it for them. But yes, the 879 process, yeah, in terms of the letters and the procedures part of it, yes, we do that for them. But we wouldn't actually be doing any public consultation events or processes on their behalf.
Okay. Good. Are there anyone?
That's what I was looking for.
Does anyone else wish to speak to the motion to adjourn? All in favor? Opposed? Carried unanimously. As is our protocol, if anyone can think of anything on tonight's agenda that's worth asking a question about, please come forward and ask your question on tonight's agenda. Any questions on tonight's agenda? Please, you have to come to the microphone there. We've been here since, much earlier today, so go ahead.
My name is Vlad Orlenko. I have a comment related to what Councillor Sikora said, or the issue that he raised.
That wasn't on tonight's agenda, I'm afraid. But go ahead and make your comment.
If I may, this is a petition from parents and neighbors of the land that is being proposed to be sold. There are 1,450 signatures asking the council to oppose the rezoning because all our pleas with the school board were ignored, and we are imploring you to oppose the rezoning of this land. And here are 1,450.
It's not on tonight's agenda, but I can ask you to please, so I have to rule you out of order. I won't be able to receive it as a council, but if you do hand it to the city clerk, council will get it.
Okay.
Just that there's a procedure here because there is no rezoning application. So if you're handing me a submission related to a rezoning.
The notice on the website of City Council says that you are running public consultation process. There's a notice of public consultation.
I understand, but it's not a rezoning, and there's nothing on tonight's agenda. So I'm not.
Okay.
If you just hand it to Mr. Gilbert, we'll get it.
Thank you.
Perfect. Any questions on tonight's agenda? Any questions at all? Any questions? Thank you all for coming. We got blindsided.